Okay, guys. I will break my silence and talk about it. The Conor McGregor civil law case against him that he got found guilty of. I will break it down. I will give you some ins and outs that you might have never known about, and you can build your own opinion about it in this video. Hello and welcome to Bloodsport MMA.
Salam alaikum, my brother.
This was something that at first I didn't want to talk about just because I just thought, it's just another stupid lawsuit against Conor for something, and another woman trying to get money from Conor and everything, right, as we see everywhere. But somehow, this time, he got found guilty of it. There's a lot of interesting points to this whole story that you can build your own opinion on, and I will obviously give you my opinion along the way. Let me just start off by saying, because we live in 2024, soon 2025, and you know how it is in this world, you get in prison for everything, and everything is a felony charge now, whatever. Everything that I say in this video is allegedly. I have no proof for anything, I wasn't there, blah, blah, blah. Everything is allegedly. Okay, so I'll just like to take out my notes and just tell you a few. I'm not trying to make this video forever, right? So let me just give you some little key points about this whole thing that are a little bit fishy, right? So Conor McGregor went on a 3-day bender, as Irish people do sometimes, with a girl and his friend. They did cocaine and everything together. They went to a hotel room together, and allegedly Conor and his friend, but only Conor got convicted of it, did, first they said the R word, but then they came with sexual assault, this woman, and she escaped and went back to her boyfriend. She had a boyfriend, very interesting point. And then, yeah, that was in 2018. Interestingly, 6 years later, we end up in court. Very interesting, but we'll get to that in a second. Okay, let me just point out a few little key, I don't want to say facts because it's all allegedly, points here, right? So the accuser, the woman, first propositioned McGregor sending him suggestive pictures over social media and volunteering to go to his hotel. Despite this, she claims she had no desire to sleep with him. So you go with a guy, especially Conor McGregor, not just your average Joe from the block. So you text with him in a very spicy way and you go with him to a hotel room and stuff. Obviously you go to the hotel room just to do coke and nothing else, because you couldn't do this anywhere else, right? You have to go to the hotel room for this together. Your boyfriend stays at home, right? Because you're such a loyal girl, you would never go out with Conor to have fun with him. That's why you leave your boyfriend at home, right? If your boyfriend is cool, hey, if you're just friends with Conor, why don't you take your boyfriend with you? You can do cocaine all three together, you know what I mean? Look, it sounds like a fun time, right? But the boyfriend stayed at home, they went to a hotel, but she had no desire to sleep with him, obviously. Second point, she left her boyfriend to go see McGregor as part of a multi-day bender, but lied to him about where she was.
You're a fake, lying rat.
As I started before with the boyfriend, she lied to her boyfriend about where she was. Would you lie to your partner if you are not trying to cheat on him? Why would you lie then to him? If you're out with your girls, you don't tell him you are out with dog, right? You tell him you're out with your girls. So why would you lie to your boyfriend and just go on a multi-day bender with a guy, with a other guy? Just because he can afford coke? I don't believe that's the case, right? So yeah, form your own opinion. Number 3, CCTV showed her kissing and touching both McGregor and his friend. So you kiss and touch someone that you have no desire to sleep with in a hotel room. Interesting. After McGregor was alleged to have R-word her, I don't know if I can say it on YouTube. In fact, she stayed for hours partying and drinking after the alleged assault. So this is similar to the Tate brothers case. So you get probably forced to stay in this hotel room, right? And he viciously R-words you, and he destroys your life with something you never wanted in the first place. But then afterwards, you just go out and you party a little bit, drink, you stay there, right? You party, you drink, you have fun, blah, blah, blah. Have a good time. Because you had such a horrible experience just in the bedroom that you have to stay and party to get your mind off it, right? That's probably the case. You have to get your mind off it. Yeah, very interesting. Number 4. She alleged he put her in a chokehold and told her, "Now you know how I felt in the octagon where I tapped 3 times."
Now I know how I felt in the octagon where I tapped 3 times, yeah.
So you think, just try to have a straight mind here. Just put all your political thoughts to the side. So you think, and I will continue in a second. So you think a Conor McGregor will put a girl in a chokehold, which is something that can happen during sexual intercourse, right? That's nothing atypical, nothing special, that you choke a girl. Like a lot of girls even like that, right? Of course, you shouldn't do it if she doesn't like it. But he put her in a chokehold. Obviously, probably a rear naked choke and squeezed. You would be asleep in like 6 seconds, but okay. Yeah, of course, he puts you in a chokehold, a very tight one. And until that point, I could say, yeah, it's a possibility. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he puts her in a choke, something in a small little choke where he obviously doesn't put her to sleep. And he says, "Now you know how I felt in the octagon where I tapped 3 times." If you know Conor McGregor even 1%, you know there is no chance in this beautiful God-created world that he would say, "Now you know how I felt in the octagon where I tapped 3 times." Like, if you come up with such stupid, insane things, then at least make it sound a little bit realistic. Conor McGregor saying, "Where I tapped 3 times?" Yeah, of course, girl. And fun fact to that whole fighting thing, allegedly she escaped him. She escaped the sexual assault by elbowing him into the face and running away. Of course, yeah. You probably get off Conor when he's choking you and stuff by elbowing him into the face, and he's probably laying there like, "Oh my God, oh, referee Herb Dean, where are you at?" Like, yeah, of course. She probably just watched a Street Fighter movie and thought, I will make my story around that.
This is Bruce Lee shit.
Number 5. A couple in the bedroom next door testified against her account of events. They never saw or heard any signs of assault. One of these people that testified this was her own friend and work colleague. So you think that, of course, it's possible that the hotel room was just perfectly isolated, right? But so when you get assaulted and you're elbowing him and everything, you just do it muted, like you just like, come on. Number 6, one of those people testified that he slept with the woman. She denied this, but it was seemingly corroborated by CCTV footage showing her all over him after the alleged assault. She also sued this man for sexual assault, despite claiming to have no recollection of meeting him, but he was found not guilty by the jury. So she isn't the first timer, right? She's trying to get some money off everyone. Number 7, she claimed to have no memory of the events, of the CCTV footage showing her all over the 2 men, but had a good memory of everything else. Yeah. Go talk to some neuroscientists that study the brain and ask them if that makes sense. Yeah, of course. She has full recollection of the horrifying events, right? Of the horrifying, life-changing assault moments, but she has no memory at all of her kissing and touching the guys before and after. Number 8, she claimed to be out of it at the time of the assault, explaining her lapsed memory, but she was texting lengthy text messages of lies to her boyfriend at the time. No comment about that. 9, for some reason her boyfriend recorded the conversation with her when she returned home. What does that suggest? Think about it for 2 seconds. Number 10, the case was thrown out as a criminal case by the Director of Public Prosecutions due to insufficient evidence. Twice. Okay, she tried to sue him twice in a criminal case and it got thrown out because there is no evidence. Now it was a civil case. Why did she now try to make it a civil case? Well, there's a reason. I read it down for you. This was a civil case where it does not need to be proved beyond reasonable doubt. That's the difference between civil case and criminal case, right? But just found to be more likely than not. The jury was made up out of 8 women and 4 men. And lastly, this is not a R-word conviction, but an award for damages over assault. Very, very interesting. And there's much more that you can read about it. It's suspicious, but those are just the key the 10 key things to me. So it's really interesting that in a world, in this modern, especially in Western civilization systems, that you can have no real proof, because you should have proof if something happened, right? You should be able to prove that this thing happened. That's how law works. But there's just civil things, civil cases now. You can just say, okay, I have no proof, so I can't make a criminal case. I just go to handle it as a civil case, so I will just he will not get to prison, right? That's how it works. In a civil case, you don't go to prison. So he will not go to prison for it, which is what you would actually want, right? If you would have been sexually assaulted, you would want that guy to go to prison forever, because you never want to see him outside again. He's a danger to society. But you just make it a civil case where you don't need to have real proof, and you can just use the emotional, you can just kind of influence the judges emotionally, which I hate to say, but women are most effective to manipulate emotionally compared to men, right? It's just a known fact. Of course, there's always exceptions, right? Exceptions always prove the rule. So the jury is made out of 8 women and 4 men, and that jury then says, oh no, we have no real evidence, but oh no, yeah, he for sure did that. I mean, it's such a toxic male, right, that fights in a octagon in his underwear and punches people in the face. He for sure said that. Now you know how I felt when I tapped out 3 times. And now she gets 250,000 or something around that figure, Irish pounds or whatever the currency is in Ireland. And yeah, and then you can watch the video where she gets out of court and fake cries, and it's just insane, the type of acting she does there. Like, you can just, if you watch it with a clear mind and no bias before, you can just see that how much she is acting there. Like, it's insane. And of course, you never know, it's all alleged what I say, right? But to me, this whole thing is just insane. I could go on around hours and hours about this, because as you see, it's just absolutely ridiculous, this whole case. It's just another person that just tries to make money out of a famous man with the easiest claim ever. Yeah, he R-worded me. That's the easiest claim ever. And it kills the people that actually suffer from things like that, because that stuff does happen. There are piece of shit males in the world that do that to women, and those women then don't get taken seriously, because women like that just claim wild things like that out into the blue because they want to make some money. If you really got R-worded, it's not about the money, it's about having that person go to jail, because you can't sleep if that person is still in the streets because of what he did to you, right? And funnily enough, she also broke up with her boyfriend like 2 weeks later or something like that, and she said she suffered tremendously from that and blah blah blah, and Conor is the reason for that. Like, yeah, of course, Conor is the reason that you broke up with your boyfriend, or he broke up with you, when you literally went on a 3-day bender with 2 guys that you kissed and touched on CCTV, did pictures with them in the bathroom, texted with them for days. But of course, it's such a surprise and such a horrible thing to you that your boyfriend then separated from you, right? Of course, it's just insane from start to finish. And the other thing that is a conspiracy that I just throw out there, I don't say I believe that it's just a conspiracy, is it's kind of interesting that whenever someone really tries to go against the system and tries to challenge their government in the Western world, and also in other countries obviously, but especially in the Western world, they always get thrown at with random charges, mostly sexual assault, or R-word, because that's the easiest one to get a man with, right? Because we were all toxic masculine males who just, yeah, anyways. Because Conor, last year I think he started with it, really started to challenge the Irish government, saying he wants to run for president and everything, and they know how much influence he has, and they know how much a charge like that can destroy someone and not make someone eligible to get in a position like that, right? They tried it, and I don't want to get banned from YouTube, so I'm not going to say any names, but they tried it with a lot of people. With some it worked, with some it didn't work, but you can make your own opinion about this, Google your own stuff. But it's kind of interesting that this happens. It was in 2018 and this comes out now, this happens now, all this conviction thing happening now, when he officially said that he would like to run for president or government or whatever in Ireland and really started to challenge the government heavily. Interesting. But I went on a long enough rant about it. Write your opinion in the comments, you guys. What do you think about this whole case? Do you think I'm just a McGregor fanboy that just tries to save him and talk crap? Write in the comments, do you think you believe me? Write all in the comments, you guys. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, would appreciate that. Check out the Bloodsport merch, bloodshop.net. Best merch in the business, worldwide free shipping with the code free. Check it out, you guys. Stay bloody, and until the next one, bye-bye. Bloodsport out.